It's Chemisto, FIghtHype.com, here with Mark Ramsay, head coach for Artur, Beterbiev. How you doing today, man?
Very good.
Great. How did training camp go for you, man? Got to start over there.
Very good, actually. It's the first time because you have to know in Canada where we're training, we have some border restriction from COVID, and the 2 or 3 last fight was very, very tough to organize, to bring the right sparring partner and the right people. That was not the case for that fight. We have like 7 different sparring partners. We bring fighters from all over the world, and we have a great training camp with no injury.
Was it difficult to kind of prepare for a guy like Joe Smith, a guy that hits really hard and just comes forward? Did you have to do anything different in camp?
Of course, we always do specific stuff to be exactly like the fight's gonna be, and we bring sparring partner who have the same profile that the opponent. We know Joe Smith, like I fight him before with Eleider Alvarez, like I see him very, very closely, and we prepare Beterbiev very well for that fight.
In your view, you haven't fought him yet, but would you consider Joe Smith the toughest fight that Beterbiev has fought just as of yet as a pro?
I would say yes. Like I think he's probably on the top of the list. Of course, like maybe guys like Alexander Grozik, who was amazing boxer, but a complete different style. Was a very good challenge also. But Joe Smith represents something very interesting. It's a tough challenge, of course.
Is it just the right hand that you have to worry about, or is it his boxing skills that you think are a little bit underrated? Or like I said, it's just
a little bit underrated, but the power, physically strong also. I think his will is his best tools. I think it's a guy, he's maybe not Sugar Ray Leonard, he's maybe not a guy like Roy Jones, but what he have, he's gonna bring to you, guaranteed, like 100%. He don't have bad night, he always fight very tough fight, and I respect that a lot.
Gotcha. Now, I gotta ask your honest opinion, man. Be honest. Going into the fight, who did you believe was gonna win between Canelo and Bivol?
Canelo.
So, scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you when Canelo lost?
Not that much. I know that was going to be a very complicated fight. I was thinking that Canelo will lose a couple of first round to, after that, maybe be able to hurt Bivol and take over at the end. But I was surprised, but not that much.
Do you think Canelo can win the rematch or should take that rematch?
Probably yes. You know, it's about the same level. The major fact for that fight for me is the size. Like Bivol it's something to beat a 175, a light heavyweight, average guy, but to beat a top guy like Beterbiev or Bivol, this is something else.
So, all along, Canelo was always saying that, he wanted to fight Bivol, provided he fights Bivol and wins. He was always looking at the fight as either Beterbiev or Joe Smith. Did you find that just a little bit crazy when he was saying that?
No, because he wants to give the fan what they want. He wants to give a good show. This is something also that I respect a lot. I think he's a performer, and I'm glad that we have a champion that is not afraid to want to fight the best like him.
Do you think that Canelo will win that rematch, or are you leaning toward Bivol on that one?
For Beterbiev team, you mean?
Well, do you think that Bivol would win that rematch against Canelo? Or do you side with Canelo in that rematch?
I think yes.
Bivol?
Yep, I think yes. I think the major point on that fight is, and if you look at boxing history, we have some other example of a guy like, I can give you example of Roberto Duran fighting Thomas Hearns. It's not that Roberto Duran was not a great boxer, everybody know that. It's just at one point was too big. I think the same thing like Felix Trinidad who fight Bernard Hopkins. People don't remember Felix Trinidad beating up Pernell Whitaker very easy, or at one point it's not that you're not a good fighter, it's just too big.
Now, obviously, the goal is to become undisputed. Is that a fight you're going to push for, provided you guys get the win on Saturday?
We're going fight by fight. Our goal as a team is the title. It's not a name. It's not like we never look for a fight with Canelo. If you want to fight us, we're glad, very happy. Now people speaking about the Bivol, but it's not a question of name. It's a question of who have the other title. We're making a collection of belt right now.
Do you think Beterbiev gets the respect that he deserves in terms of pound-for-pound list and people mentioning him amongst the best fighters in the world?
I don't know. This is up to the fans. This is at the fans and the media people to decide who's pounds for pounds. We just try to perform the best we can and let people vote and decide who's the best.
Gotcha. Now, I got to ask you, because you have just a real unique and just a real smart guy when it comes to just breaking stuff down. Can you break down how you see a Crawford versus Spence fight going, man?
Who?
A Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight going?
You know what? Before his car crash, I consider Errol Spence as the best pounds for pounds in the world. That was my opinion about that. The truth is, I'm not sure at 100% if he came totally the same guys after that car crash. I look at him, I'm not sure about he's the same guys anymore. And when you talk about the guys like Crawford, he's so good. Like, and in my opinion, before the car crash, there was something so close. For me, it's Leonard and Duran. It's Leonard and Ernst. Sorry, it's so close as a top boxer that maybe that's gonna be the difference in that fight. I'm not sure at all if Errol Spence is the same guy.
So you don't think he looks good against Yordenis Ugas?
For me?
You don't think Spence was looking good against Yordenis Ugas?
Yeah, yes, but it's not only that. It's about like when it's time to fight a guy who's exactly the same type of talent that you have. Not other boxer, guys like Crawford, who's also very, very talented. Now you're gonna see the edge. You're gonna see the little thing that I'm talking about injury and about can he still perform at the same level after a big accident like that. I'm not sure. I don't know actually.
Gotcha. And just my last question. Who do you have number one pound for pound? And I'm just curious now because you said you had Spence. Would it be a guy like Inoue? The Japanese fighter?
I love him as a fighter. He's one of my. It's probably the guy that outside of my own guy, it's probably the guy that I love the most watching. But right now, I have to go with Crawford. I have no choice.
Gotcha. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much.